How are we doing, credit repair pre-litigation family? Stephen Palmieri coming to you here today. And today we are going to talk about freezing your credit reports with those alternate or otherwise known as specialty consumer reporting agencies. And does that actually do anything to help you to keep them from furnishing your information to the big three credit bureaus? So here's the deal, right? We've all kind of seen it going on out there. A lot of people are posting up, hey, there's these companies like Lexis Nexis, Sage Stream, ARS. They have databases on consumers. They are consumer reporting agencies, but they also furnish data to the big three bureaus, which means they actually have a database of data that has a dual role under the FCRA. That data is classified in part as data furnisher data when they are furnishing data to other credit bureaus, but it's also classified as consumer report or credit file data for consumer report purposes when they are acting as a consumer reporting agency and when they create a consumer report. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that some of these companies have a dual role. They are data furnishers as well as consumer reporting agencies. So what does freezing a credit file with one of these specialty agencies to try to keep them from furnishing data to the big three? What does this do for your dispute? Well, let's go ahead and take a look and see what the FCRA has to say about this. But first, let's see, we've got, by the way, go ahead and post up your questions and comments. Robert Sigmund, do you ever stop working? Well, sir, I am not working when I am having fun helping you guys bust through all the myths. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's do a screen share. And we're going to take a look and see exactly what the FCRA has to say about security freezes. So if we go to 1681 C-1I right here, I-1 is where you're going to find the definitions of a security freeze, and I-2 is where you're going to find the actual mechanism to do that. Okay, so what is a security freeze? So right here, your definitions show you exactly what a security freeze is. The term security freeze means a restriction that prohibits a consumer reporting agency, not a data furnisher, a consumer reporting agency from disclosing the contents of a consumer report that is subject to such security freeze to any person requesting the consumer report. Okay, let's kind of take a quick pause here and just digest this one sentence. So unfortunately, this may come to a shock to a lot of people. Congress did not design security freezes to help credit repair companies and upset consumers to scrub their credit clean. I know it's hard to believe, but that was not the congressional intent. The intent of this is to protect and to provide a mechanism through which consumers can safeguard their credit from identity theft. And so the intention of this is to keep fraudulent loans from being opened up in the consumer's name. Now, how would that happen? Well, if a perpetrator of the fraud goes and applies for credit using the victim's identifiers, that credit is going to be pulled or requested to be pulled, let's say at the car dealership. And if there's not a security freeze, that credit report, which is called a consumer report, that's what a consumer report is. That is the credit report that is produced for the user, which would be the dealership, for them to evaluate the consumer, or in this case, the victim's credit worthiness. Okay, so the whole intention of security freezes is to prohibit the release of a consumer report from the credit bureau to the user, which is the dealership, the mortgage company, the credit card company, if that credit report has been frozen. That's exactly what this was designed for. Okay, so, and that's what this says, right? It says that they're going to prohibit consumer reporting agencies from disclosing the contents, basically from producing a consumer report, which is the subject of the consumer who froze it. All right, so let's get back to here. So remember we had said that some of these companies, they have a dual role. They're acting in a dual capacity. They are consumer reporting agencies, but they are also data furnishers, right? And so, like, let's take Lexis Nexis for an example. Lexis Nexis is a huge repository for public record information. You can go ahead and freeze your LexisNexis report, and they will not be able to produce a LexisNexis consumer report for anybody who would pull such report. Like, let's say somebody wants to pull a background check on you with your LexisNexis, the freeze would keep that from happening. Nowhere in the definition of security freeze would it prohibit LexisNexis or any other consumer reporting agency for that matter, but using them as the example, nowhere in this language does it say it prohibits a data furnisher from furnishing data to a consumer reporting agency. Doesn't say that anywhere in here, okay? So that's what a security freeze actually says, okay? And now let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into consumer report. Okay, what is a consumer report? So if we go back to the FCRA, 1681A is where your definitions are. So this is where we're going to find consumer report. Okay, we're going to scroll down here and we're going to find the definition of a consumer report somewhere in here. What we're going to just do is we're just going to go ahead and control F it. Let's go ahead and do that. Because there we go. All right, so there it is, 1681A, like I scrolled right past it. 1681A-D is where your definition of a consumer report is, okay? And so we're gonna not like go through all the details here, but in a high level, you guys should know, if not, now you're gonna know, that there's really 7 things, if I can count my fingers here, 7 things that really in general a consumer report is, okay? The consumer report is a communication of information by a consumer reporting agency. So once again, it is not a communication of information by a data furnisher, very clear. And here's what it did. It bears on the consumers these 7 things right here. Credit worthiness, number 1. Credit standing, number 2. Credit capacity, number 3. Character, number 4. General reputation, number 5. Personal characteristics, number 6. Or mode of living. So if they're talking smack about you with any one of these 7 things, okay, then in general, it needs to be used for consumers' eligibility for one of these 3: creditor insurance, employment purposes, or any other purpose authorized under 1681B, which is where that permissible purpose is. There's some exclusions. We're not going to talk about that for right now because it's irrelevant. So a consumer report is defined in the FCRA as the communication of information by a consumer reporting agency, which is used or expected to be used in whole or in part for the consumer's eligibility for one of these 3. Okay, so as we can see there, let's get back to here. So as we can see, the furnishing of information is not the production or distribution of a consumer report. So that is what the FCRA says about a security freeze. That is what the FCRA security freeze provision was intended to be used for. I will let you all make your own conclusions. Some people swear by it and say, Steven, security freezes are the next best thing since sliced bread, because we all know you cannot beat sliced bread. That is, in fact, the best thing. Let's see. We've got some people tagging people. We love it when you tag people. Thank you, Eric. Some people swear by them, and that's cool. I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. I am just here to show you where to find the information so you can blow past all of the misinformation and just figure out what works best for your business model. So there you have it. Now you know exactly where to find the security freeze provision of the FCRA. If you're doing these things and it works for you, great, because we all know the credit bureaus are random, they're inconsistent, and who knows. If you're doing them and you're not finding that it works for you, well, it may very well be because potentially it actually has no effect on their ability to furnish information. So there you guys go. If you like this, go ahead and give me a like, give it a share. And if you like what we're doing here, check out my training course at creditrepairtrainingcourse.com. And of course, as always, shoot me a message if you would like to chat. And I will see all of you on the next video. You guys take care.